All right, so let's go ahead and get this show rolling. Um, this is our second um, Teamwork Leadership Coalition meeting, and so I appreciate all of y'all being on tonight. We'll jump right into it. For those of you that wasn't on last week we talked more about value, your value, and what does that look like for you specifically on your brand. And so I gave some homework. I know you're kind of out, but were you able to get some of your homework done as far as the knowing your value and kind of figuring out your value proposition?
Hold on, I had to take that mute off.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of doing a little bit of exploring, understanding how to better position myself. But I'm still digging into it because I left most of my notes in the house.
No, I get it. I know you out there in on the road right now, so I get it. I just didn't know if maybe you had some off the top of your mind. We'll say, Mom, you've been able to deep dive into beans, and so I'll ask you, what is your brand and the value proposition?
Well, our brand is Holistic Health, with a profit organization, and we're still working on our being.
Okay, but as far as the value proposition, your value, what are you offering?
Well, we offer counseling, we offer holistic health consultations, we offer classes or education because we're all about educating, motivating, and supporting individuals to live a healthier, happier life naturally and spiritually. So our focus is education.
Okay, good. So last meeting, what I did was I talked with everyone that was able to be on the meeting last week, and we was going over the value proposition, but that's what we also made as homework, was for every individual to basically look at their value, their brand, and provide a little information of what their value is on this particular meeting. So that's why I was asking you all the question, just to reiterate. The second thing that was homework that I said we will bring up at the beginning of leadership meeting today is understanding what our network is. So CLD network and teamwork. So does anyone know or was able to do a little research on CLD network and teamwork from our website? If not, that's okay.
Well, I didn't do any homework, but what little bit I gather is that it's a organization of building others up with their brand and helping them to establish their business, and also to be able to continue to help themselves as well as helping others. As that's the CLDs, changing lives. It's being a life changer, a world changer.
Correct.
So
I appreciate that, and that is spot on. CLD stands for Changing Lives Daily, and that's what we aim to do. Our goal is to provide opportunity and resources to the everyday person, from families, entrepreneurs, people who are inspired and aspiring to do, something great, and so essentially that's what, our purpose is. We specialize in brand program development. So when we're talking about branding and program development, is business planning in a sense, business structuring, business development, right? And then e-commerce and affiliate marketing. So for everyone that's out there, that would be, watching this, on whatever platform that is posted on, I wanted to also, share with you all on what CLD Network and what teamwork is all about. And so naturally, teamwork is our affiliate, our members. We call ourselves Teamwork because we believe teamwork makes the dream work. And how we spell it is WERK, which is an acronym for helping people win, earn, recommend, and create more opportunities to advance your lifestyle. And so those are the acronyms and kind of what our culture is all about, helping as many people win, earn, recommend, and create more opportunities to advance their lifestyle. So that's just a little bit of our review from last week. Again, as we move forward, I just wanted to, again, see who all has been able to, do a little research, what individuals, like my mom, like E, like Crystal, different ones that, have been with us from the beginning that knows, everything that we have going on. I appreciate you all sharing that. And then naturally sharing some of your value. Now, before we move into, one of the first sections or the first topics of tonight, was anyone able to start their 30-day planner? I know, Mom, you wasn't on the last one, but I believe you saw the review from last week. Were you able to see the review and the homework from last week?
No, unfortunately, I did not.
Okay.
I have already started working on my plan, my goals. So yes.
Got you. Okay. So this particular 30-day planner, so just reiterating, the 30-day social media planner. Last week, we talked about some of the struggles that individuals have with social media and understanding that social media is the wave for digital business and businesses, period. Now, in most cases, more people will go to social media first to find out about a business before they even check out your website. So online presence, for the most cases, on most parts, starts with social media now. And then the social media, if it's structured correctly and is consistent and is engaging, and you have the right, resources or tools on your social media to direct traffic to your website, that's how you're able to monetize or convert to sales. And so we kind of touched a little bit on that, but naturally we deep dive more into that once we're in the Beams course. But saying all that, I kind of showed everyone my 30-day planner and how I took time out to think of my value proposition. Once I figured out my value proposition, I wanted to look at what do I want the world to see that can show them what my brand is all about, show them a balance of the brand and my lifestyle. And so once I understood that and took time to really just see what I wanted to do as far as my social media, what does my online presence, what I wanted to look like, then I started creating a 30-day planner. So each day creating a post that would recycle. So it's more and along the lines of theme based content. So I would, I love to empower people. So that was naturally built into my balance of my social media. I naturally business. So creating, a balance of having business, empowerment, my family, and, any other, pieces of myself that I enjoy sharing with the world. Putting that all together to create a 30-day planner where every day I'm able to look at my calendar and I know exactly what I'm going to post to make things easier, where instead of me being on social media for 3 or 4 hours, I'm able to set my stuff up now automated. But for the most part, I'm able to just look at it and know that, okay, today I need to be posting this. So instead of me having to think about it, I can go right to my planner and pull out the content that I want, and it's posted and I'm done. So 15 minutes of social media, now I've given myself more time to work on more of my productive pieces, but still giving myself consistency on social media. And that's really how you build your engagement and your audience. Does that make sense?
Yes, that make a lot of sense. Now, you say you're actually writing your content in a planner. So we need to get a 30-day planner then, instead of just writing it in a notebook or something.
Well, actually, it's not. So let me share my screen real quick. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, I use my notepad on my phone. My phone and my computer they're synced. So most of my notes go to my phone and vice versa. So I don't use like a 30-day calendar. I just say that just for a person to have a visual of 30 days, you see the month and each day has something on it. But I actually just wrote out in my notepad 30 days. So I literally have 1 to 30, and that is my 30-day planner. And beside it, I have the notes of what I'm going to post that day. So let me get that pulled up real quick. And I have so many, hundreds and hundreds of notes. Let me pull that up. All right, share my screen. All right, do you see the screen?
Yes.
All right, so let me see if I can you see where it says Chris Ford social media marketing plan?
Yes.
Do you see, can you actually see the words? I'm just trying to make sure it's not, 'cause I know it's little.
Right. No, I can see it real good.
Okay, you can see it real good. Okay, perfect. So if you see again, naturally, I'm more of a content developer. You know, I have content for days because I'm in that content realm, you know, from media, building graphics, dealing with all the different businesses. Naturally, with the lifestyle of our family, we're able to, you know, have a lot of development creation that is where it gives me archives and archives of stuff that I could post. But in the realm of social media and wanting to make sure that you are purposeful online and developing a balanced brand, that's where it's saying I had to strategically think about, okay, what do I want the world to see? How can I intertwine my brand with it so that I'm engaging people, but I'm also showing consistency and using all the archive content that I have for purpose, right? And so when saying that, you see day 1 through 30, to show my balance, every day I don't want to put the same thing. I have a lot of different aspects of my life that, you know, can definitely give each day a little bit of something, right? So, you know, I love to empower people. So I have a lot of different empowerment videos, whether it's me or people that I listen to, like Eric Thomas or, you know, the Tony Robbins, or, you know, it could be spiritual, you know, spiritual empowerment speakers, things of that matter, that I just say, okay, you know, I can rotate them in. And so when I see on my calendar video empowerment series, I know, okay, I'm putting that today. I'm posting something empowering today. When I have my series of black graphics. So I have bold black that have either sayings on it, it may have logos on it. I have a whole stream of those, right? So when I see black graphic, I know I'm posting that today. Family or lifestyle photos. Naturally, we have, you know, whether it's myself, some selfies, if it's, you know, lifestyle with my family, we're out and about. We've taken a photo, you know, me and my wife, or me and the kids, or all of us together. I know when I see day 3, or when I see family lifestyle photo, this is the time for me to post that. And what it does for me is create a nice solid balance of brand, lifestyle, empowerment that keeps my audience engaged, but it's all purposeful of them seeing who I really am, what I wanted them to see on social media. So that's what the power of a social media marketing plan. It gives you strategy and it gives you purpose based off of what you take time out to, you know, really look at your value proposition personally and also for your brand. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, and those are some of the things that we'll.
Yeah, that gives you a perfect idea.
You say that again, E?
So yeah, that gives you a perfect idea of how to actually lay it out.
Correct. So, and that's something that we continue to work on. That's stuff that, you know, I would say in the group, or if that's something that needs to just be planned out as we go through Beams. Those are things that, because everybody is going to look different. They might not have, people may not be big into empowerment. You know, you may, for your case, you know, Mom, you may say, okay, I want to do, you know, talk one day on a specific herb. The next day it may be family. Another day may be, let me post something about my business. And then another day may be, you know, I want to give a snippet of my radio show. That's however you want to develop it, but you want to develop it within 30 days so that you're not thinking about it. You can continue to not have a lot of time wasted on trying to figure out how do I, or what do I post on there. This helps you maximize your daily time, which we talked about last week, is productivity and how do we balance all the things that we have going on. One of the questions that was posed to me is, how do I balance all the businesses, family, management, things of that matter, and our network as far as developing and helping others. And I said, it's a high, it's one of those things where you really have to be highly organized and really have a plan of action for every single thing that you do. And so that's really where we came into talking about social media, and where we are now, where we're talking about how do we develop or get over the hump of the social media struggles. And so that was one of the answers that I could personally say have helped me. So what are y'all thoughts so far?
Do you have a time for this? Do you have a certain time that all your posts go out, each day?
I usually try to handle all my social media after I deal with my morning, kind of just ritual of, my spiritual, working out, eating, seeing, making sure that, everything's good with the family. When I first sit down, what I try to do here lately, since I've had the 30-day planner, is go ahead and get it out in the morning. If I don't get it out in the morning, then I try to do it in those peak hours of that 4 to 7 o'clock, because that's the next wave of when a lot of people are on social media, right? So you have the early mornings, anywhere from 7 to about 9 o'clock is where you see people are up now, they're getting ready for work. And so you'll see a high level of peak of people on social media. That's the time you want to really get that algorithm working. You want to post then. If you miss that window, then you want to make it consistent where you're posting at night or evening time, I should say, so that you're catching the second big heavy wave of algorithm. Does that make sense?
You say between 4 and 7 in the evening?
Yeah, about 4 and 7 is when you see the next big wave surge of a lot of people starting to be engaged online. The morning time is about 7 to 9, could be around no later than 10. So that's kind of your 3-hour windows that you want to look at as far as posting.
Okay.
All right. So I know we kind of went a little bit more in depth on that. So I want to jump right on to our first section. We're talking about beams, and it's the focus is coming up with your brand name. And so with that, why do y'all feel a brand name is so important?
Well, your brand speaks to who you are. It speaks to what you. It speaks to it sets that image in a person's head of remembering who you are and why you're in business.
Correct. I agree. Yeah, the brand name. I mean, if you Google and it say why is brand name important, it will say the brand name sets the tone for how your consumer views you. So that was spot on. Even before they know that they want your product, a person hears that brand name, or they may see the brand name and they're like, man, they're intrigued. They will naturally gravitate if it's something that appeals to them. And so that's why that's one of the exciting pieces. Everybody's ready to say their brand name when developing a brand name, but it's things like the brand name that can make or break you. And we have personal experience with that, and I'll elaborate later on. We have a little bit more time, but we are not afraid of having funky names. We will have all type of little names we come up with and throw it out there, just because we are a creative culture around here, right? But when you really deep dive into creating a brand name, everybody doesn't have those second and third opportunities to really throw a brand out there and be able to still get an audience to gravitate to you, to come back and patronize you and say, hey, I like what they do, right? So coming up with that brand name is really vital, that you take your time and you really think about the process and go through the process of not only being creative, but thinking of that value. As we keep talking about, the value proposition is going to play a major part in developing your brand name. So one of the things I want to talk about tonight was how to come up with your brand name. And so what helps me come up with my brand names is me thinking about the purpose of it. So what I'll ask you guys is, when you're thinking of your brand name, if you have yours, I want you to visit that again on what's the purpose and how you came up with that brand name. But if you do not have a brand name, I want you to think of what is your brand's true purpose, right? And so write that down. What is your brand's true purpose? And that's going to help you when thinking creatively within a purpose measure, okay? Then the second question is, what is your brand's formula to provide quality results? And so one of the things when we think about branding, we think about your company, your business, is what formula have you came up with that makes you truly feel that your brand will provide results for the consumer, whether it's something on entertainment side or if it's something product or service based. All of it has to have some type of formula, and your brand should absorb that formula, and it should have pieces of the formula within that brand name. So in other words, how did you create what you are offering that you can also be a part of the name process? So thinking of that formula in an example, I would say is Beams, okay? Our formula is branding, e-commerce, affiliate, marketing system. So we went more with the style of an acronym brand name. And it's a lot of different types of brand names, and I'll go over a few with you all tonight. But it's a lot of different styles of brand names that you can choose from. But we went with the acronym because it just came to us. It popped and it made sense. It's saying Beams, having a Beams vision, having a Beams strategy. I'm beaming myself to completion. I'm beaming myself to success. It was just something that just came to mind, and we went with it as far as the acronym. But the process itself, when you look at the types of brand names that you can create, it's an acronym. Some of the other essential or other types of brand names, you have descriptive brand names, where it can be more of a describing the brand. Evocative brand names. You have invented brand names. It's just all original, something just off the wall. The lexical brand names, acronym brand names, geographical brand names, and then founder brand names. And so those are 7 types of brand names. I believe there may be a couple more, but those are the more common types of brand names. So let me ask you all, while I drink me some water real quick, what type of brand name do you have in mind? Anyone?
I'm more acronym based. I like acronyms. Like one of my brands is Beautiful. Belief ensures attitude, utilizes talent, inspiring freedom, unity, and love.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Now, what is, speaking of beautiful, what is the value proposition for that?
Well, it's meant more of a spiritual healing to help you internally understand your possibilities. The limitless of your possibility from the standpoint of building your self-awareness of self-esteem, how you mentally believe in you, okay, and how beautiful you actually are inside and out.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Your brand name. What type of brand name do you have, and what was the process behind it?
Okay, well, what type is Perfect Health Holistic Institute?
So let's see. Let me look at those again. Yours could be more under, it's a Perfect Health Holistic Institute. So it's more, I would say, more of descriptive.
Right.
If you, I know you have another brand, the Ford Health Shop. Right. That could be a mixture of founder, because your last name being Ford, and descriptive, because you're talking health shop. Right. So yours seem to be falling more underneath the descriptive type.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what was the process for coming up with Ford Health Shop, or excuse me, Perfect Health Holistic Institute?
Well, basically, the scripture be the perfect, even as thy Father is. Well, I can't remember the whole scripture, but
no, that's fine.
striving for perfection, because that's what God wants us to strive for, is perfection. Even though we're not we're not perfect. We're striving for perfection, number one.
Okay.
Number two is holistic, mind, soul, and body. So we can be whole, mind, soul, and body. And health-wise, health-wise, mind, soul, and body.
Got you. Okay.
And then institute, education.
Education.
So changing the mindset and striving for perfection.
Got you.
Basically.
Okay. I love it. I love it. And so in that process, what measures did you, if you can remember, what measures did you go through as far as creating it? As far as, I mean, did it just come out when you reading the scripture, or what made you say that's the one?
Well, originally, of course, Perfect Health God's Way, which I still have, which is my ministry. When I got my mentor, well, it's not my mentor, but the young lady who helped me to go ahead and get it set up as a nonprofit. It was based on, she's saying that if I had, I guess, to get funding or get grant money, it would be best that not saying we're leaving God out of it, but not to be a church, be recognized as a church, which is not recognized as a church, but at the same time to be able to maybe do something else with it. So while I was sitting there just that quick listening to her, I was like, well, I know I want to keep perfect health and I want to keep holistic. I mean, I want to keep perfect health. So it came to me by, God said, Holistic Institute, because I'm into educating.
Gotcha.
So to make it an institution that will not just be in one location, but be around the world.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we can many institutions, Perfect Health Holistic Institutes around the world. So in Perfect Health, God's Way is still there as well. It's still incorporated as well, though. So it's not like we got rid of it. It's just the umbrella is Perfect Health Holistic Institute. So just to tweak the name or, the title for the nonprofit purpose it became Perfect Health Holistic Institute instead of Perfect Health God's Way.
Got you. Okay. Now, so going back into the process, I would say there are several things in that. Now, this isn't something that you necessarily have to stick by, because like, for instance, this first part of the process, or first things that we tell people to look at is coming up with a name that's short and compact for ease of use. Well, naturally, Perfect Health Holistic Institute, it's a little bit longer.
It's long.
But, right. But it's suiting for, again, what you're doing. And so that's okay. Some people will just have long names, but in that, for everyone, one of the things that we look at when developing or on the creating side of a brand name, you want to be short and compact for ease of use. So again, naturally something smaller and kind of right to the point helps with that engagement, and that I remember that, being easy to pronounce and spell it, having the available.com, the domain name, which I advise everyone. That's kind of one of my first things. I may be brainstorming and I'll go to GoDaddy and brainstorm names using GoDaddy just to see if the name is available, so you can attach a site or a domain to that name if you go ahead and move on with filing, for, attaining that name, right? And then naturally something unique, memorable, and the biggest key to all of it is your brand story. So that is one of the things that I definitely want everyone, which will start translating, and developing as you really deep dive into your value proposition. So what I want to ask y'all is, for your brand, what is the story behind your brand? And I know, let's make it, with 60 seconds. I'll put y'all on the spot. In 60 seconds, when you come on, what is the story behind your brand? Just to see, I'm just curious to see who have already kind of thought of it or kind of have it in mind. What is my story behind the brand name?
What's your story behind your brand name?
So my story behind Changing Lives Daily, for the longest, I went through a lot of transitions, and I'll try to be short, but mine always gets it starts to elaborate as I get going, because I think about it's a lot of different pieces that built up to Changing Lives Daily. But long story short, the opportunity to help a lot of people, um, it went into something of the point where it was like, man, that is something that I want to be my lifestyle. And uh, I dealt with a lot of multi-level marketing, and a lot of the fashion of multi-level marketing is helping people. The faith-based principles that are behind multi-level marketing, really instilled in me as, man, I can really help the masses both with a product or service as well as financially. And so that principle started to sink in, and it really, listening to naturally Jim Rohn, and really kind of thinking more on the more people I can help, the more it really helps me get to what I want. And so the story behind it was, Changing Lives Daily. I want to help change lives daily. Every person I come in contact with, I would like to have that opportunity to have something for them that can change their life. And so in a nutshell, something very short story of that is, naturally I wanted to help people, and that name just resonated. How do I help people? I got to help them with their life, their lifestyle, with opportunities. And so that's where really Changing Lives Daily started to form within the process that we're going over now.
Well, I'm glad. That's why I wanted you to go first, because you said 60 seconds. So I was like, I'm going to get this story in 60 seconds. But as you were talking, you said your story. That's good. But really, your 60 seconds was changing life. You wanted to be a world, you just like me. I want to be a world changer of helping people with their health holistically, so they don't have to depend on allopathic medicine. They can depend on holistic modalities that God put here for us to consume, to feed, to nourish our body, because He designed our bodies to heal itself. So that's my story.
Got you.
60 seconds.
60 seconds. Love it. Eric, are you there? Do you have a 60-second story? Say that again.
Yeah, mine was a little different. For so long in my life, I thought screwing up was all there was for me, not understanding that everything I was screwing up on was molding me into the person that I process. I realized just how beautiful
it's breaking up pretty bad, E.
So that's what created the presentation. Beautiful belief ensures, attitude utilizes talent, inspiring freedom, unity, and love. That's the only way to change this world.
Love it, love it. And we'll definitely hear more.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I know you was kind of breaking up in and out, and so that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Tell him to say that again, because he's breaking up. Well,
he's on the road, so
can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So for so long in my life, I thought I was screwing up, not understanding what I was doing was actually molding the man. And so once I realized that, I realized the process was beautiful. So belief ensures, attitude utilizes after that which we're purposed for. And so once we figure out what we're purposed for, life becomes something beautiful.
Ah, nice. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let me see. Who else is on the line? Let's see. Uncle Fred, that's you? There it is. What's your story behind your brand?
Story behind my brand is simply following the same principles that Jesus did. First of all, his desire was the creation, uh, to be a physical creation of God's word. And so by doing so and allowing your life to exemplify that, that's what mine was about, is just first of all obeying the principles of God and being an example for others and teaching those examples to let them know that it is possible, even in this day and time, for people to live a fulfilled life. And I'm just getting to the point to applying the principles that my sister has been trying to introduce to everybody, and that's having a total life that God wants you to have. And so that's it, just in a sum.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. I want to call on my wife, but I know she's holding the fort down with the kids. Yeah, never mind. I'll leave you alone.
Well, no, I can say real quick. So I guess, as everyone knows, we have quite a few brands. And to sum them all up, even with CLD Network, Changing Lives Daily, Teamwork, CLD Logistics, me being a realtor, our main passion and our main goal, of course, is to help people. That's what we're most passionate about. We're passionate about service. We're passionate about branding, business. We're passionate about ownership and, just letting people. There are a lot of people out there that don't know that they have the opportunities that they have. And we want to stand as a pillar, or just, that person or people that is really broadcasting that you have options. You can do better. You can change your life. And I think that that's just what we as a team and a brand is most passionate about, is just helping people grow.
I love it. Thank you. So I appreciate all of y'all sharing, your stories. And we'll continue to, touch on those as we continue to focus on everyone's brands. Those stories have to be shared when we're talking brand names, because that's what really sells. The stories, engages the consumer, because those stories resonate with them, because they may have similar stories or similar feelings and thoughts, that's what they want to hear, to say, that's the brand name that I want to go with. So with that being said, naturally, for those that don't have brand names, I would say, kind of go through some of this process of developing your name. I would come up with, 5 names on a list, and kind of just go through the process, seeing if they're available, checking with the Secretary of State, to research that. And see which ones are available. That'll also help narrow down your brand name. But finding out, creating your story or knowing your story, the value behind it, and what type of brand name you're creating, those are some of the things that would help. So as we move to the second section, I know we're kind of pressed on time, because I think it's been good with us really deep diving into the brands. But I wanted to now jump to teamwork and our network, and how we start talking development and growth of bringing more people or exposing more people to what we're doing. And in order to do that, we have to duplicate. We have to have the new wave of presenters, the new wave of educators, the new wave of leaders that are spreading the word that you can do more, and there is a network for you to do more, or at least get development, so that from there you can kind of, figure out what's your stance on, progress, purpose, your brand, your personal development, things of that matter. And that's what we house here in CLD Network and with the Teamwork. All of us on the line are leaders in our own ways, in our own industries, and us all coming together to work together, to iron sharpening iron. That's what's needed for a lot of people in this world. And so when talking about duplication and talking about the new wave of presenters, one of the things that that we present, which will be on in the next 10, 12 minutes, is the iCircle program. That's one that individuals will get on to know about that particular program. Well, we have a lot of different programs, and so even including, you know, our affiliate program that we have within CLD Network, it's going to take duplication. It's going to take us as leaders to really understand what our network as a whole entails, and then also knowing how to really spread the word and take ownership of saying, I'm a piece of this network and I'm a value asset and I want to be a presenter. I want to be in the forefront to, you know, really share this thing and present. And so with that being said, I want to get to a point here in the next few weeks to work with individuals that are a part of our teamwork, to get them to start developing, you know, and finding out what's their passion and what's the areas of this network that they truly enjoy, and start putting you all in front or getting you ready to be in front to talk more about it on these webinars, you know, on social media, as well as your brand. And so I wanted to touch on that tonight. Naturally, I'm not going to be able to touch a lot on it with the time that we have left, but I definitely want you all to think about what are the things of this network, whether it is the teamwork, you know, leadership coalition meeting that we have every week, whether it's iCircle, whether it's our affiliate program, whether it's a whole slew, any of these programs that we have to offer. What are the things that you really are passionate about, that you feel your market that you are engaged with would want to know more about? I'm looking for helping our leaders start taking that next step to talk more about it, to communicate, to invite more people. This call tonight, we have, you know, a good amount of affiliates now, but really drawing them in and say you need to plug in, but also getting more people involved so that they can plug in. So this call would be, you know, sold out, you know, in a sense, or over capacity, right? So that we can reach more people. And so saying that, in order to do that, we have to duplicate it. We have to talk to more people. We have to get in front. And so I wanted to share that with you all, that I am wanting to work with everyone on the call for the next few weeks on finding out what they like most about the network and what they'll feel more comfortable with talking about, but now moving you to the uncomfortable stage of talking and being in front and make you one of the presenters. So we will talk more about that, and I'll probably talk with different ones one-on-one to really start getting your mind wrapped around it. But I want you all to think about which part of the company that you really enjoy or really see you being able to pull in a lot of engagement traffic, so then we can place you there to start developing you on how to become a presenter, how to be in front, so that we can get some edification for you. All right. And so in closing, I wanted to talk real quick about some of the activities. And actually, with our teamwork leadership, in order for us to continue to grow as leaders, to continue to, have our coalition and hold each other accountable, we have to have some goals and activities. So I provide homework, right? And so everyone that's new on tonight, on the teamwork, leadership calls, everyone that'll be watching this afterwards, need you to understand this, we have to stay in development and accountability mode. So there's always going to be homework. And so for next week, I'm asking everyone to come up with a list of 5 names for your brand. If you already have a name brand, I want you to actually write down, share how you came up with that name, what's the meaning or purpose behind the name, and then what type of brand name would it fall under. And naturally, we kind of went over those 7 types, and you can Google 7 types of brand names and they'll pull up all the ones we discussed tonight. Okay. So that's one piece of the homework. Naturally, you all can review this video as I have it, shared to go. If you forget what the homework is, you can review this of what we went over, as well as what I'm asking you all to do for homework. The second piece of homework is I'm going to ask you all to get out of your comfort zone. So you're going to record a video stating you are a brand. So you'll say, I am a brand. All right, we're going to create a I Am a Brand video compilation. So in this video, you're going to get into a quiet setting, right, so that the sound is clear and everyone can hear what you're saying. You're going to say, I am a brand, and you're going to give us a little bit of your value proposition in 30 seconds, right? And then I want you all to close with, I want to invite you to share your brand with us in our network group, the Opportunity Center. And so with that, I'll give you an example. I am a brand. My brand is The Workout. As you see, I have some of my apparel on tonight, right? We specialize in a community of fitness and nutrition, online courses, and apparel. So I'll use this as my example, okay? So in 30 seconds, you say, I am a brand, you know, what your brand is, the value, and then at the end, I want you to say, I want to invite you to share your brand with us in our network group, the Opportunity Center. And so we're going to make a compilation of these 30-second videos of all of you all's brands, put it together to make an actual video that we're going to put online to invite more people. But it also gets your brand out, and then it also gets you out your comfort zone as a beginner of speaking more. And a lot of almost everybody on here has done speaking, and they're still doing speaking. So you all are experienced. So I'm talking to everyone who's going to watch this in the post. Is some people may not be as experienced as the ones that are on this particular video. But I'm asking everyone to give a 30-second step out of their comfort zone, excuse me. I am a brand, state what your brand is, value proposition, and I want to invite you to share your brand with us in our network, the Opportunity Center. All right. So everybody got that? Was that confusing? Everybody understood what the instructions was?
Got it. Got it.
Oh, Lord. My wife talking about I got to get my makeup done first. Well, I'll tell you, any opportunity. Okay. So everybody got it. Okay, perfect. So that was the second thing of homework. And what I'll probably end up doing is when I post this, I'm going to I'll also post the homework recap so you can have that without having to go through the whole thing for the ones that's on, right? And then well, this other part I'll skip. We won't worry about it. I was gonna talk more about the mock presentations if we had talked more about the duplication. So we'll pass that on. I'll move that into next week deal where we'll deep dive a little bit more in duplication. But I do want everybody to write down what our network has that you would be comfortable talking about as a presenter. So then over the next few weeks, we're going to develop, and then we're going to work on doing a Zoom meeting with you presenting. Okay. So ideal would be like our iCircle. You know, if that's something that you say, hey, I like that, and I think I can do that. Well, we'll develop, we'll work with it, and then in a few weeks, you'll be on schedule with graphics, social media, advertisement to present for the Thursday night call, right, or Thursday night webinar. Okay, so that's that, but we'll talk more in depth on that later on. And then the last thing is write down why you want to succeed in this venture or in this company and for your brand. Why do you live? What is your purpose in life? And what was the turning point that helped mold and or shape you realizing your purpose? And so with that one, that is us tapping a little bit more into the story. What's your story? What's your why? That's something that we all need to know when we're moving down the entrepreneurial, the leadership, the road of success. We need to know the story. We need to know why we're doing what we're doing. What is our purpose? And so this is the time to start talking about that with yourself and with other like-minded individuals like us, that we can start, you know, understanding who you are, but then also understanding and helping you shape it to the format needed for you to be able to relay that to others when we're talking about your brand. So now your consumer can now understand what that brand really means and why it's something that they should consume themselves with. All right. Any questions before we go? Everybody good? All right. Well, in closing, I appreciate all of y'all being on. I hope you all got something from tonight. I tried to give every week. My goal is to, really try to give objectives, give some topics, and actually this is the opportunity where you all can chime in. If there's topics, within this measure, leadership and growth, this is the perfect time for us to communicate and talk about that. Or if you want to share with me some topic to think about, you can do that as well. And I can put that on the list for one of our upcoming meetings. So other than that, I hope you all, have invited. We do have Venture Capital Thursday that's coming up in 2 minutes. So invite, and remember to do that homework, and we'll talk later. Talk to you soon. Let's work.
Thank you.
No problem.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.